David, with the recent adoption of Bluetooth 5 and mesh, how is this going to play out in the home, do you think?
I think it's going to allow the smart home to really, the user or the customer, the end user, to have a more seamless end user experience, right? With the cell phone being a gateway, being in the pocket, Bluetooth built in, right? I believe there'll be a lot more plug and play applications that people like my mom or my wife will feel a lot more comfortable utilizing the home. I could also think of use cases like light bulbs, potentially utilizing mesh as well to control them, and also potentially have audio being sent over those light bulbs. So the amount of use cases that Bluetooth 5 and mesh really bring to the consumer, and really the end user experience that's there for the consumer, I think is something that the consumer is going to feel in a positive way sometime here in 2017.
And will it extend Bluetooth's reach in the home?
Yeah, so it'll extend Bluetooth's reach physically from a range perspective, as well as from a vertical market and really application specific as well.
What are some of the biggest challenges that will hold back adoption and the rollout of connected car technology, David?
I think some of the biggest challenges are really making sure that, one, it's easy to use for the consumer, as well as it works and it's secure, right? As we look at the technologies in the car that have been implemented for the last 10 years, the use cases have been quite powerful, but the way that users have been frustrated by trying to utilize those technologies has been quite frustrating. You look at J.D. Power Associates survey results that consumers score their user experience with a car. They like the technology concept, but the use cases are painful. We've even heard of many instances here in the Americas where people have actually gone as far as returning their cars.
Wow.
Right? Because the simplest thing is the phone doesn't connect over Bluetooth to the car, right? So car OEMs need to have a cultural shift and understand more the detailed depth of this technology that they're integrating in the car in order for it to be successful. I see too often the car OEM might look at a transport, whether it be a cellular modem they're buying from a modem company or a USB bus that they're plugging into the car, and just thinking as a component and plug it in the car, and not really treat it as a complex piece of technology that they really need to test and understand.
They've got to really make all of this equipment work together.
Yeah, they have to.
Not in isolation.
Yeah, they're not. They're a very, very. I'll use the word system integrator, right? And there's a lot of work they need to do, right? It's not just a Bluetooth chip or a cellular modem you can buy and put in. I mean, if we took the cellular modem scenario, for example, and we put it down in the car, that might be a different vendor that's providing the cellular modem compared to who's providing the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi modem, right? And there are some cellular modems that talk in bands that are very close to 2.4 gigahertz. And if a car OEM isn't really doing the system integration correctly, could there be some interference that potentially impedes the end user experience? We've seen instances like that in the field where car OEMs really didn't think through the level of detail they needed to do during that system integration.
And how seriously should everyone really take security? I'm not just talking about the car companies, but the tier ones and the consumers as well.
I think security is a hot topic right now, very hot topic. We confuse it sometimes with privacy, but I'd focus on security. There's what we see as medical devices, IoT medical devices, and automotive devices, and devices that potentially, if there is a breach, the consequences and the liability is huge. Those applications in vertical markets should take security very seriously. Definitely it's been public for the last couple of years. There's been some vehicle hacks that have happened recently where people can, either through a wired or wireless interface, an intrusion point to the vehicle, actually take control of the car.
And this is something that's really sparked the imagination of the consumers as well, isn't it? Unlike a lot of problems that may develop in the industry, this is one thing that the consumers are actually very aware of and very worried about, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the consumer is ignorant in this world. They hear the fear, uncertainty, doubt that they see through the press. Let's call it a car that was hacked and someone was able to control the car via a wireless interface and can actually steer a car off the road. The consumers don't understand the underlying hacks that happen to make that happen. All they do is read the headline. And then that creates a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt that could have a lot of damaging impact on a particular brand. So in order for a car OEM or a medical device to do it properly, they need to take a step back and look at all the different penetration points that could exist from a security hack perspective and make sure they're taking it seriously. It's definitely the standards that exist through standard bodies today to really lock down a device aren't thorough enough to really truly lock down a device.
And how would you say that Frontline's recent acquisition by Teledyne LeCroy will actively help the car technology developer?
I think the biggest help is Frontline over the last 12 years has a very competent expertise in the Bluetooth Wi-Fi piece, which is a core backbone of the technologies that are in the infotainment space. But as the autonomous car and the connected car become more advanced, there are additional protocols and technologies that are being utilized in the car. Teledyne LeCroy has a lot of that expertise that they bring to the table, whether it be USB, CAN, FlexRay, MOST, Ethernet Broad R-Reach, PCI Express for the ADAS systems. There's numerous technologies that Teledyne LeCroy brings to the table that helps us help the car OEMs ensure that when they're developing a connected car, they do it effectively and they do it right the first time.
And just looking in from the outside, this seems to have sparked a rapid development of the technologies and expertise that you can now offer.
Yeah, so with the recent acquisition by Teledyne LeCroy, we've taken a lot of the skill set and expertise, whether it be PCI Express, USB, or vehicle bus technology, and brought it together in a center in Detroit, Michigan. It's called our Automotive Solutions Group. It's definitely a game changer from the perspective of bringing 5 different business units within Teledyne together under one roof and creating a technical center with multiple expertise, with multiple technologies to really help the connected car ecosystem advance quickly.
Thanks very much, David.
All right, thank you, Vince.